Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black.
This is it, Saiyans. For the sake of our most glorious project, you will die today!
Yes guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the new units that released for Black Friday. Of course, there's UI Omen Goku, the legendary finish unit on the new Step Up banner, and he released alongside Jiren, Toppo and Dyspo. I'm going to be talking about how good they are, what they do best and why they lack. And I'm also going to be showing you guys my summons on this free banner where we got 1 ticket for every 1,000 crystals we spent in the past year. So yeah, I had 203 tickets I believe, and there was an extra few that I farmed during the day. So yeah, these are the summons that I've got. You'll have them in the background just so that can keep you entertained while you listen to me talk about these units that release. So yeah, let's get into it and let's talk about Dyspo first. Now, he is the weakest one out of the 4 new Sparkings that released, and I can say that with confidence now that I've tried all 4 of them like pretty much during the whole day today, and I'm recording this on the day of their release. But yeah, I've had pretty much all day to use them, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. I've experimented with them quite a lot, and I know that Dyspo is the weakest out of the 4 new Sparkings, quite simply because he's a very good unit, don't get me wrong, and his kit is very nice. He does a lot of things. He gets draw speed, destroys your enemy's cards, does a lot of good stuff, but he kind of is a lost puppy for the first 30 time accounts of the fight. It's only after the 30 time accounts pass that he becomes an actual monster, where his green card gives him draw speed and also gives him 40% to damage inflicted, and his main ability, which you can use after 25 time accounts, gives him key, destroys the enemy's cards, buffs his allies, and that is after 25 counts, like I said. So until that point, he isn't very good. He does take less damage at the start of the fight, but really you're not looking to take any damage with him because his stats aren't up to par with the other units. So he is very good in terms of going forward. He does deal a lot of damage because he does get a lot of buffs. He gets a 80% damage inflicted buff at the start of the fight when he jumps into battle, and also 100% to key recovery, and it's his green card really that makes him really good, but that is of course only good after 30 counts. So that is why he is the worst unit, I would say, out of the 4 that released, but he is still a very strong unit. He deals a lot of damage, and he does put in the work very nicely. So let's talk about Toppo next. Now, Toppo is incredible. Quite simply, that's all I have to say. He is very good. He is much better than Dyspo, just because he's useful for the whole fight. Like I said, Dyspo's only good after 30 time accounts. That's what I've found. And before 30 time accounts pass, a lot of things can happen. Like the match can be won and lost in those 30 counts. Toppo, on the other hand, is brilliant all the way through. He's very strong defensively. He can put out loads of damage as well. He buffs up the whole team after getting hit. Also with his green card, which also regains ki, his ultimate locks in and he heals the whole team with his main ability. So overall, he does loads of things, and he's just a very strong unit with a lot of defensive capabilities. He does have cover cut as well. So yeah, overall a very strong unit that if you do have, yeah, just put him to use because he's a very nice unit to use. Very fun as well. His animations are really clean, and although he is pretty, you know, funny to look at, he is a very strong unit, and I've had a lot of fun using him today. So let's get into Jiren next. Now Jiren, I have quite a lot more to say about him than I did about Toppo, and I talk more about Dyspo than Toppo just because Toppo kind of does what it says on the tin. He's pretty much a great defense unit with a lot of damage output. That's pretty much what he is, and he's a support type. He's like a jack of all trades. Jiren, on the other hand, is just a monster. He's like Kefla on steroids. Honestly, he is incredible. He has one of the best main abilities in the game. He regains ki, he gains health, he draws his ultimate, he gains draw speed, he does everything. And then with his green card, it's just absurd. He draws 4 new cards, he does a bunch of stuff. He's just honestly ridiculous. He does everything you want an offensive unit to do. He has blast armor on his strikes, on his green card, on his blue card, and on his ultimate, and those you know, the blue card and the ultimate, they hit really, really hard. He is a very strong unit, and he nullifies cover changes just for the sake of it. Like, why not? Vegito Blue does that with his ultimate. Well, Jiren does that just normally when he jumps into the battle with any card he uses. That on its own is ridiculous. Now, I don't know what else to say. He's just a monster. He does so much damage, and not just that, he does have a cover change of his own. So yeah, overall, just one of the best units in the game, I think. I think he's on par with UI Goku, who I'll get into next. I'd say he's just a little bit below UI Goku if you know how to use the UI Goku well. And I'll get into why right now when I talk about UI Goku. But yeah, Jiren, honestly, what a unit. They did a great job with him, and his animations are beautiful. I have to add that. Just great job all round. So UI Omen Goku is, I mean, he's brilliant. He is one of the best units in the game, but he's very tricky to use, and I don't know, he's got a new mechanic, which is this auto vanish. It's basically a second gauge that he has, apart from his vanishing gauge, and it is very, very nice to use. The fact that you can just stand still and dodge attacks is very nice. He regains part of that gauge, 50%, with his blue card. His green card is the best in the game. It's like Gohan's knockback and Majin Vegeta's as well. He gets draw speed from it, and he gains ki from that. So yeah, just ridiculous. His ultimate is the hardest hitting in the game, alongside Vegito Blue's. The only problem he has is that he's not very tanky, but he has cover changes basically, where he can jump in and cover change on a strike or a blast card. He can't combo it into anything, but the fact that he can do that twice is just incredible. And he is just a monster. The more he's on the battlefield, the better he gets. After 8 counts, he's going to be hitting really hard. 8 counts when he's on the battlefield, that's what I'm trying to say. So if you keep him in for 8 counts, he's going to be hitting like a truck. And every time you switch, that resets. But it is just really easy to get to that 8 counts because he does have the auto vanish. So overall, really fun unit. The fact that he can auto dodge and stuff like that is just fun to see and fun to use. He does, like I said, he hits like a damn truck. He is a monster. You put a green unit in front of him and it is bye-bye. Honestly, he has damage against fusions, extra damage against fusions. So Kefla, RIP to her pretty much. I mean, she's not going to be seen for a while, I'm sure. And yeah, overall, just a really fun unit, a very strong unit with one of the best damage outputs I've seen in the game for a long time, and that's only at 2 or 3 stars. Like, I can't even imagine at high stars what this guy is going to be doing. And one thing I failed to mention about Dyspo is that he basically has the same ability as Vegito Blue, where when he uses a card and lands a card, he draws a new one, which is very nice. And his green card, apart from giving him draw speed and damage inflicted, 40% to damage inflicted, he also draws himself another card. So he's basically very good at drawing cards as Dyspo, but like I said, only after the 30 counts is when you notice his damage being really good. But back to UI Goku, for me, he's got the best card art in the game. He is such a good legendary finish unit, and I would say he's not as broken as Vegito Blue was on release, but that's just because of the meta we're in right now. We have loads of Zenkais running around, loads of really top tier units, and I would say he is very competitive in PvP. He's a unit that can put in the work against anyone, and honestly, as soon as you land a green card, you've won the match, because the fact that he gets draw speed, you can use him with Whis, get multiple green cards, get multiple draw speed levels. It's just broken, and that's what makes him so good. His green card is absurd. His blue card gives him his automatic vanishing gauge restored to 50%, and his ultimate's the hardest hitting in the game. So yeah, you don't really need much more. He's just amazing, and he heals with his main ability, which is nice to see as well. So yeah, that is pretty much what UI Goku does. So the question is, do you carry on summoning for UI Omen Goku if you, I don't know, have all the Pride Troopers, for example, but you don't have him yet? I would definitely carry on summoning for him. The banner's out until January, so we have a long time to go until this banner leaves, so you can definitely do a few more rotations if you have time. Remember, Christmas is coming up, so if you do pull the UI Goku and you get a copy of each of the Pride Troopers, definitely dip out of the banner, I would say. Let's say you pull the Jiren and the Goku, you're good to go. If you want to go for that Toppo, then go for that Toppo. If you have Jiren, Toppo and Goku, leave the banner. You don't need Dyspo, he's not a must-have, but I would say Jiren and Goku definitely are. But like I always say, don't chase LFs like a madman, because it's just a suicide job. Yeah, it's ridiculous to chase LFs because they have such a low rate, so hopefully you do manage to get him. Everyone, you know, is really excited about this UI Goku, and I hope everyone does manage to pull him, because he is really fun, and he's a bit annoying to face in PvP because of that auto vanish. You know, you kind of need to get used to it, because he's the only unit in the game that has it. But I think once we get used to it and everyone knows how to use him, we'll see how good he really is. But for now, I would definitely keep summoning. You have got time until Christmas, of course. You can do one rotation or two, and then you'll have 3 weeks or so to farm up until Christmas, and we'll get a lot of crystals between now and then, I'm sure. So make sure you get those crystals farmed up, and hopefully you do manage to get him. Like I say, let me know if you do have him, what your thoughts are on him down in the comments below. Like this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you are new around here. Let me know your best summon. I want you to go onto my Twitter, the link's in the description, and I tweeted basically for people to show me their best summon, and I will maybe do a reaction video to that if you guys are interested, and if I get a lot of submissions in there. So make sure you go and do that on my Twitter. Like I said, link in the description or on the layout, as you can see there. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.